Class, this is Mr. Snyder from ESL 5 Science, and today I am going to be presenting to you all about our new lesson. So, as you can see, for our new lesson, instead of the usual PowerPoint from Microsoft, we are going to be using Prezi. So, let's get right down to it. So, everybody, please take out your science textbooks and please open it to page 64. And as you can see on page 64, our new lesson is all about chemical changes. So what exactly is a chemical change? So a chemical change is a change that produces one or more new substances. So that is entirely different from a physical change because as you remember from our last lesson, a physical change, the substance still retains its properties and elements. But in a chemical change, new elements and new substances are formed. For example, when you burn wood, the burning of the wood turns it to ash and soot. And when you leave a banana peel to rot, its color will change because it is oxidizing. And as you remember from last week when we were doing the experiment on mixing vinegar and baking soda, what happens? Hey, you created carbon dioxide. All right, so let's move on. So, nothing is more important than learning about the conservation of matter. So what exactly is it? Do you remember what we talked about in the beginning of our unit? That matter can neither be destroyed nor created. It must always go into somewhere else. Okay? So the conservation of matter is a law that states that any chemical or physical change, that the total mass always remains the same. Okay? For example, as you can see, when you're burning coal with oxygen, because as you know, oxygen is needed to burn things, what happens in the air? Carbon dioxide is produced, okay? And how is carbon dioxide produced? It's because there's carbon in the coal combined with oxygen, creating, boom, carbon dioxide. Okay, so now we have ascertained the definition of the conservation of matter. Let's talk about chemical reaction. All right, so as you remember, when charcoal burns, a chemical change occurs, okay? Because charcoal and oxygen form new substances. And that is also known as a chemical reaction. So, a chemical reaction is a process in which one or more substances are changed or converted to become one or more different substances. Okay, so as you can see, what do you see right here? This is water. And what's this? Potassium. Because potassium reacts very violently when it touches water. Okay, so when it reacts with water, a chemical reaction starts and the product is potassium ions, hydroxyl ions, and also hydrogen gas. So that is really amazing. So whatever you do, don't drop your potassium in water. All right, now it's question time. So let me ask you, if you measure the mass of nails before and after they rust, will the masses be the same or will it be different? So let's think about this. When you have rusted nails, what causes rusted nails? You got it, oxygen. Oxygen, whether in the air or in water, causes rusting. So does the mass change? Or does it increase or decrease? So that is what I want you to think about, and I'll get back to you in our next lesson. And finally, If you need to learn more about chemical changes, next week we will be doing some experiments. We will be making the copper coins rust in our next week's class. Okay, furthermore, if you have any more questions, I would like you to watch this video on chemical reactions and chemical changes when you bake a cake. All right, so that's all for today. This is Mr. Snyder, and I'll see you on our next class. Bye-bye.